Yeah. I want to welcome everyone to our May 19th, 2022 Daviess County Fiscal Court meeting. If you would, bow your heads. Our Heavenly Father, we thank you for all the gifts that we receive from you. We ask that you watch over the men and women who serve in our armed forces, as well as all of our emergency responders. I ask for wisdom and understanding for this court. Grant us humility in our everyday life and give us the courage to make right decisions for all those who live in Daviess County. Tonight especially, watch over our community with all the storms and tornado watches that are out there. We ask that those storms pass us by. We ask all these things in your name. Amen. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Once again, I want to welcome everyone to our May 19th, 2022 Daviess County Fiscal Court meeting. The first item on the agenda this evening is to welcome our sister city, Olomouc from the Czech Republic. They are running just a little bit late. So, Jenny, we're going to bypass item A, and let's go on to B.
1, consideration for presentation. B, Treasurer's Report for April 2022.
Mr. Hendricks.
Second.
We don't vote. Mr. Hendricks, you want to give us the report?
The cash balance April 30th is $62,734,476. General fund is $27,016,689. Everything's in good shape through April. There's nothing new that the court is not aware of.
Any questions or comments? We have a few people from the public out there. Any question or comment from them? As usual, Mr. Hendricks, just briefly tell them why we've got a lot of cash so that they don't believe that we're sitting on a pile of cash that we can do whatever we want with.
Primary reason is we have 2 escrow accounts associated with the solid waste fund, the closure and the post-closure fund. We are required to escrow those for when we're finished with the landfill so that we can close it off. That's approximately $8 million. We don't cycle that annually. It just sits there until we need it. The general fund is up because of the way the tax revenues come in. We collect primarily the majority of the tax revenue in November and December, so we would be at a high point as far as cash.
Yeah, this would be the point where we would have most of the cash that we're going to collect. Now we're going to spend it down throughout the year, waiting on the next tax season. We also have some ARPA funds in there that I think we're waiting to.
There's 7.6 here, and we should get the next tranche any day.
Right, okay. And of that, $10 million is going to go back out in the contract to provide broadband throughout rural Daviess County, of which I can confidently say that is going to happen, and we're looking 18 to 24 months. It should be, everyone that signs up for the service should be turned on. I'm looking at Jordan because he attended a meeting yesterday. Isn't that your understanding? Okay. Any other question or comment? This is not an item that we vote on. The report is in the office, clerk's office. The judge executive, you're welcome to come in and get a copy of it and ask any questions. Next item, Jenny.
Item 2, consideration for approval. A, minutes of the May 5th, 2022 Daviess County Fiscal Court meeting.
Motion approved.
Second.
I have a motion second. Commissioners, you all had a copy of the minutes in your possession for some time. Any additions, deletions, or corrections? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Jenny, slow down just a little bit. Talk a little slow. I'm going to talk a little slow. We'll vote a little slow. Give our Olomouc people time to get here.
B, all claims for all departments.
Move to approve.
Second.
I have a motion and second. Commissioners, once again, you've all had a copy of the bills due and payable by Daviess County Fiscal Court. Any questions of the treasurer at this time? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, motion carries. Next item.
C, Davis County Fiscal Court Salary Schedule.
Motion approved.
Second.
I have a motion and second. Mr. Hendricks.
Annually, the court approves the salary schedule. This was the one that will be effective July the 1st. It just lists the salary schedules. I'm not sure. Looks like we just have the first page. I don't know how many got printed, if y'all have a full set.
One page.
I'd emailed it, so I think
Yeah.
everybody has seen it. But again, this is something that we do annually. It's just the auditors will use it to spot check payroll and make sure people are making what they should be making.
Right.
I recommend approval.
Commissioners, any question or comment? I would note that the minimum wage that Davis County pays, even to our part-time employees now, is at $12. If I'm not mistaken, we raised that several years ago in an effort to recruit more folks to work part-time at the Parks Department. I suspect that the next court will be required to increase that, because it seems that even at that, taking it from $7.25 to $12, we continually have issues. We don't have as many issues as the city has, but we still have issues. Any other question or comment? There being none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed, motion carries.
D,
Hold on, Jenny, are they out in the hallway trying to come in? Wanting to come in, wanting time to come in? Commissioners, if you don't mind, we're going to interrupt our meeting and move back to the first item, where we welcome our sister city representatives from the city of Olomouc and from the Czech Republic. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Ross Lee is the county's representative on the sister cities group. If you would do the introductions. I practiced all day saying your names, and Ross assures me that he won't mess them up, so we're going to have Ross do it.
Ross, Mike. Thank you.
It's a little technical for you, all right?
It is.
Okay.
Judge,
Ross?
Commissioners, it's a pleasure to be able to be here today, not only, of course, serving in my role to our county citizens as the Director of Parks and Recreation, but also as a co-executive director of the Owensboro Sister Cities and Regions. With me here today are representatives of the city of Olomouc, and it was actually in October of 2016 that for the first time we welcomed a young man into our personal home in hosting a student that was enrolled in the English-speaking section of a high school in Olomouc. In October of 2017, my oldest son and wife returned to Olomouc and were able to stay in that family's home to be able to officially make that exchange. In October of 2018, we welcomed our second student from Olomouc. His name is Mattias Rek. Mattias is currently studying medicine in a university in Brno. And in October of 2019, myself and my son and other high school students from Owensboro returned the exchange by going back to Olomouc and to be able to stay with those families of the students that we had hosted the year prior to that. This October, my wife and I are proud to be able to host our third student. Her name is Julie, thankfully very easy to pronounce. And in October of 2023, my youngest daughter, our third child, will actually have the experience of staying with Julie in the city of Olomouc and spend a couple of weeks involved in that culture. So it is a very important thing to my wife and I both to be able to have experienced this opportunity. With us today, there are several individuals that are with us that represent the city of Olomouc. One, the first that I would like to be able to introduce is my friend Zdendka. Zdendka is actually the coordinator of the program exchange on behalf of the city of Olomouc. And she is very instrumental to be able to make that coordinated effort with us in their visit. With her today are 5 other individuals, including the mayor of the city of Olomouc that I was able to meet with. And we would like to be able to recognize him, Mayor Miroslav Žbánek. So this is the mayor of the city of Olomouc, and this is our county's elected officials, including our judge executive. The next is the Department of Foreign Relations and the Delegation Translator, of course, Zdendka, that we introduced earlier. The Department of Transportation and the Area Development Director, Marek Cerny. The Chief of Regional Paramedics, Dr. Ivo Matters, who has been, celebrating a 25th anniversary of practicing medicine. We also have the City Planning and Construction Architect, Michal. Glacintov. Yes, see, I knew I could pronounce that just right.
I should have done the introductions. I'm telling you.
And the District Chamber of Commerce Director, Radim Kašpar. Thank you very much for being here.
Commissioners, if you would join me, let's stand up and welcome our guests.
Judge, there are also 3 members of our Sister Cities Committee. Our president, Michael Vanover, is here with us as well. And then immediately behind them is Keela West and Dr. Elaine Wright, who are also very instrumental in showing our guests around throughout the course of this week. So,
Are you going to be nice and allow the mayor to come up and address the court?
I would be honored, yes.
Oh, okay.
Mayor, if you would like to be able to make some comments to our elected officials.
Vaše excelence, dámy a pánové, dovolte mi, abych na této půdě mluvil česky, protože čeština se za 30 let stala nedílnou součástí americké kultury tady v městě Owensboro.
You don't have to translate, I understood that.
Okay. you can do my job.
Well, for the other
I've been
commissioners.
exhausted since Monday, so
Yeah.
you are free to do so. So, Your Excellency, ladies and gentlemen, once again, I'm honored to be able to be here with you, and I will take the permission and speak in my mother tongue, because I believe that since 30 years of our cooperation between our cities, Czech language has become also partly your culture.
Žijeme v době, kdy se díky technologiím svět zmenšil a během vteřin se mohou dorozumívat lidé z druhých konců světa.
We live in the time when technologies allows us to speak immediately to the rest of the world, so the distances between cities are have been shortened.
Partnerství, které jsme uzavřeli před 30 lety s městem Owensboro, ale dokazuje, že nic nenahradí osobní kontakt a my si nesmírně vážíme toho, že jsme tady našli přátele a že mnoho českých chlapců, děvčat, umělců mohlo poznat vaši kulturu a zároveň jsme ji mohli představit i my vám.
Okay. So since 30 years of the cooperation, when you hear about what has been done, there is nothing to be compared to a personal contact and to be present here, because we have since the first day here felt like we are among our friends and we are member of your family, and during the 30 years, many boys and girls, artists could come to your city and get to know your culture, and we are very glad that mutually we could do the same and present our culture to you.
Amerika, stejně jako Česká republika, žijí v míru a v době blahobytu. Nicméně v Evropě 600 kilometrů od našich hranic ruské bomby ničí životy milionů obyvatel Ukrajiny. I toto téma je jedním z těch, kterému jsme se v rámci naše cesty k vám do Owensboro věnovali. Občané Olomouce a občané Olomouckého kraje jsou vám velmi zavázáni za to, že cítí podporu, neboť v našem regionu skončili tisíce uprchlíků, kteří před válkou hledají bezpečí, úkryt a mnozí už se nebudou mít kam vrátit.
I would like to say that the United States of America and the Czech Republic are living in peace and in wealth. Nevertheless, I would like to mention that only 600 kilometers from our Czech border, there are Russian aggressors attacking Ukraine and throwing bombs on their cities. This is also one of the topics that we have discussed a lot during our stay in Owensboro here, and we would like to appreciate that even in your city, we feel that we have a support and that you share our difficulties and story of this region. Because there were, even our city has become shelter to about 3,000 refugees who came to our city to seek shelter and asylum, and some of them apparently might stay forever because they are not likely to go back to their homeland, as many of the cities have been destroyed completely.
Naše země je šokovaná nejenom z brutality, kterou Rusko páchá na Ukrajině, ale je šokována také z toho, že všechny země, demokratické země, které Ukrajině pomáhají, označuje za nacistické země. To je věc, kterou odmítáme a Amerika byla jednou ze zemí, která pomáhala Evropu od nacismu osvobodit.
Okay. Our country has been shocked by the brutality which has been committed since the beginning of the Ukrainian war by Russian aggressors. And what is even more shocking, that Russia feels strong enough to name this country and other countries who are helping Ukraine to overcome this difficult situation by Nazism, calling them Nazist. And I would like to say and make a commemorative moment also and bow the honor to America, who helped to free Europe from the Nazism after the Second World War.
Před 30 lety jste nám, nově demokracii, otevřeli svou náruč a stali jste se našimi bratry ve svobodném světě. Já věřím, že stejného přijetí se budou dostávat i ukrajinským městům, které se osvobodí od ruské agrese a stanou se partnerskými městy nejenom v Americe, ale i ve zbytku svobodného světa.
30 years ago, it was your city, your country, which was one of the cities who opened their arms and welcome us to a democratic world. And we believe that this will be done also with Ukrainian cities, and they will be so warmly welcomed once the war is over, and they might become sister cities, not only to American cities, but to the cities all over the world.
Proto se na nás také obrátilo naše partnerské město Černivci na Ukrajině a požádalo nás, aby jsme poděkování za podporu, kterou Amerika i vaše země a město vyjadřují Ukrajině, tlumočili na této půdě.
And I would like to speak also on behalf of our sister city in Ukraine, Černivci, and I promise to them that I will forward greetings and thankfulness for the support your country shows to Ukraine.
Many thanks.
Before I respond or say anything, Ross, do you think would anyone else like to come forward and say anything? Okay.
On behalf
I should have known that you would.
now, I would like to express my gratitude to all our friends and especially to Adrienne Carrico, who is assistant to the mayor, Tom Watson, because without her, our travels wouldn't be possible. And of course, the more board members who are not only board members, but are friends, and they open their homes to our families. So thank you.
Okay. On behalf of the 103,000 citizens that live in our county, I want to say that we are praying for you, your region, your city, your citizens, and those refugees that you referenced. We as a country, America, the USA as a country, doesn't realize how fortunate we are and have been not to have to deal with the type of aggression that has gone on in Europe for years and years, not just recently, but we're talking about, World War II wasn't fought in our country, it was fought in your country. World War I wasn't fought in our country, it was fought in your country. So we've been blessed and in some ways insulated and isolated from the very real horrors of the refugee situation that's been going on, not just in Ukraine, but south of there in the Middle East. So we feel blessed, and we ask that we pray for you and your country, and that all things work out well, because whatever happens to our sister city happens to us as well. So thank you very much for being here. I know that you have dinner this evening, and being that we're all hungry as well, we're going to tell you that you don't have to stay for the rest of the meeting. You're welcome to leave, but first you have to come up so that we can get a picture with everyone. Let's line up here.
Mike, I'm Steve Warren's wife. Yeah, good. How are you doing? Yeah, we're gonna see Benji and his new wife this weekend. Yeah, I will. Good. Mm-hmm. We've been going to Pleasant Valley. Oh.
Are you good? Good. All right. Thank you very much. Once again, thank you. Good to see you. Who's our transportation guy? Somebody, didn't I see transportation? Who's the transportation guy? Right here, Mike. You don't have some conspiracy theory about how we. No. It's not worth translating. Well, it wasn't worth translating. Oh.
See ya.
I tell you, Commissioners, it really is, I mean, I can't imagine the worry that goes in that country that's right adjacent to where a major war is going on. It just is amazing. So, Jenny,
Yes, sir.
next item.
Item 2, consideration for approval, D, Resolution 12, 2022, authorizing application of Greenbelt Extension RTP project.
Motion approved. Second.
I have a motion and a second. Commissioners, this is nothing other than authorizing us to apply for a recreational trails grant. This will be for the Greenbelt extension that will start where the one from the hospital to Daniels Lane ends, and we'll take it from Daniels Lane to Reed Road. Pretty simple. If you have any questions, we'll ask Mark over there to explain it better.
Well, the only question I would have, I know sometimes we apply for these things and we're pretty much assured that we will be approved.
Yeah.
Is this one of those or not?
I don't think there's any such assurance. This is a competitive grant.
Okay.
Yeah. And just for the public, I had a lady that had asked about a map of the trail, and our map of the trails has actually been taken down off our website for an update. Isn't that right, Jordan? That's what I thought. It'll be put up in a couple of weeks, but even then, it will not show this trail because there is nothing concrete about it. We have to see if we can get the money, then we'll start looking at right of way and how we're going to get from point A to point B. Okay. Any other questions? Public? You better not. Well, never mind. Yeah. If there are no other questions, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
E, Resolution 13, 2022, application for and administration of a Kentucky Office of Homeland Security project fiscal year 2022 detention center computer backup drives.
Motion to approve.
Second.
I have a motion and second. This is a grant or a Office of Homeland Security grant that is going to allow the jail to install some backup equipment which will help protect them from malware attack. That's the best I can tell you. Jordan, you're the one that wants to talk about this? Good. Any questions or comments, Commissioner? There being none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
F, Park Special Event Rental Agreement with the Bluegrass Music Hall of Fame and Museum for the River of Music Party 2022 Festival.
Motion approved.
Second.
I have a motion and second. Commissioners, this is the ROMP agreement. We go through this every year for the Bluegrass Museum. It allows them to come in and use the Yellow Creek Park facility, spells out their responsibilities. Pretty much the same as it has been, Claude, for the last 7-8 years. Any question or comment? There being none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, motion carries.
G, contract with Special Inspection Services LLC for CQA services for subtitle D, landfill cell construction.
Move to approve.
Second.
I have a motion and second. Mr. Smith?
Yes.
Will it work?
Yes. Yeah. So now, is it Judge or Your Excellency?
I heard him call me Your Excellency. I don't know that title works.
Okay. Just wanted to make certain after he set that up earlier.
All right, just move on.
So, before is a quality control contract as a part of the construction of our new cell. We have to have an independent third party come in and verify that we are doing everything according to state regulations. So what they will be doing is doing density tests on the clay layers that we put down. I'd mentioned at the last meeting, or one of the earlier meetings, that we put 6-inch layers up to 2 feet tall. And in every 6-inch layer, this company comes in and do density testing to see how dense the pack is, because in the end, this whole area has to be packed tight enough so that water moves 10 to the minus 7 centimeters a year. And that's a very, very small number.
Boy, that's slow.
That's very slow. That is very slow. So then at the end...
That's like Panther Creek.
Yeah. Then they will also do the testing of the gravel placement. I believe there will be another company later on that will have to quality control us putting the plastic liner down and make sure all those welds. But this company is more of a physical of the placement of the clay and then the gravel.
Questions, comments? Comments by the public? There being none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, motion carries. Next item.
H, change order number 1 for all county right-of-way mowing bid agreements.
Move to approve. Second.
I have a motion second. I guess, Jordan, that's you.
Yes, Judge. We have 7 bid contracts that cover approximately 478 miles of right-of-way mowing in Daviess County. These were last bid in 2020 for the calendar year 2021 and were awarded to the only participant, which was BJ Ward LLC. We renewed the bid rates for calendar year 22, and in light of the rising fuel and material costs over the last year, BJ Ward has requested a 10% price increase for all sections for the remainder of this year, which would result in our total annual cost for 3 cycles of mowing going from $118,224 per year to $130,046.40 per year, or an $11,822.40 increase. After reviewing the fuel adjustments that the state has made to their current mowing agreements and the CPI of fuel over the last year, Road Department management feels this request is well within reason. The change order is allowable per section 3.15 of our bid contract. Legal and myself have reviewed it. It is in order, and I would recommend approval.
Commissioners, questions or comments? Question or comment by the public? There being none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, motion carries.
I, hire Ashton Chapman as road department mechanic effective May 23rd, 2022.
Motion approved.
Second.
I have a motion second. Mark, I'm assuming this is a replacement mechanic.
It is.
Okay, any questions or comments? I want to welcome Mr. Chapman to our workforce. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Next item.
J, promote Jeff Martin to solid waste heavy equipment operator effective May 20, 2022.
Move to approve. Second.
I have a motion and a second. David, a replacement. So I want to welcome Mr. Martin to our workforce. If there are no other questions or comments, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, motion carries.
K, hire James Sterling as administration carrier or courier service tech effective upon completion of pre-employment screening.
Move to approve.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Commissioners, as you are aware, we had a courier prior to the pandemic. Pandemic hit. We weren't doing a lot of traveling from office to office. We were having our office staff doing some of the courier work, and that was taking them away from their supervisory jobs. And we had an opportunity to hire Mr. Sterling to take up that process again. It's a part-time job. And I want to welcome Mr. Sterling to the workforce. Any other question or comment? There being none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, motion carries.
L, hire Ethan Pierce and Preston Smith as parks seasonal park attendants effective upon completion of pre-employment screening.
Move to approve. Second.
I have a motion second. Commissioners, as we talked about a little bit earlier, park attendants are hard to come by. We have a couple of new folks, and I want to welcome them on board. Any question or comment? There being none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, motion carries.
M, hire Gavin Sanders as fire department intern effective upon completion of pre-employment screening.
Motion approved. Second.
I have a motion second. Commissioners, I think this is the first time that we've had a fire department intern, if I'm not mistaken. We had them at engineering. Second time we've had one. So anyway, the chief wanted to know if he could have Mr. Sanders there. We said absolutely, so we're happy to have him on board. Any question or comment? There being none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Next item.
3, consideration for discussion, 8 other business to be brought before the Davis County Fiscal Court. I'm not aware of any.
Good. Next item.
B, public comments.
This is the time during our meeting in which we invite the public to come forward, identify themselves, and they're welcome to speak on any item other than what was on the agenda. I see no one at the podium. Next item, Jenny.
C, comments by Davis Fiscal Court.
Commissioner Caslen.
I don't know if it's appropriate or not, but I want to thank people who supported me in the election that just finished up. And,
Probably not appropriate, so.
Okay.
Anything else?
No.
Okay. Mr. Wathen, Commissioner Wathen.
Pass.
Commissioner Coger.
Pass.
Okay, I thought somebody would at least say we're trying to get out here in time to go to the police memorial tonight.
We're gonna make it.
And we are going to make it. I just remember where it's occurring. I'm sorry? First Christian Church. So I would invite the public, if you have already had supper, to come on to First Christian Church. It's always a very moving experience, remembering those first responders that have fallen in the line of duty. And I think there at the end, when the bagpipe guy plays Amazing Grace, to me, that's one of the best parts of that celebration. Now, this is appropriate. I want to congratulate all those folks who had thrown their hat into the ring and ran in the primary here on Tuesday. I was involved in 11 elections, so I know just how tough it is on those folks, those individuals who are running, as well, probably tougher on their family and their friends. I want to remind everyone that we're going to do it all over again in November, when at that time both Republicans and Democrats can come out and vote for those offices that are up for grabs in the November primary or November general election. And remind everybody that if you live inside the city limits, you still vote for everyone on the county ballot, and those people who live inside the city will have another set of candidates called city commissioners, and you'll get to vote for 4 of those. Other than that, I think it was nice that our sister cities delegation was here, and you know, next time will be a very exciting time, Mr. Hendricks, because what do we do on our first meeting in June? We have our second vote on the budget, right? Yeah, trick question? No, it wasn't, but we have our second vote on the budget. So the budget is where we put our priorities, and I can proudly say that this court has had their priorities in the right place in the past, because we have focused on roads and public safety and all those other things that you folks as taxpayers expect from us. So with that being said, if there's no other business to be brought before Davis County Fiscal Court, without exception, adjourn.